So this is my really, really good friend, Rachel Minnick. Rachel and I have been friends for over a decade, super, super close friends. In fact, we've spent every Thanksgiving together
We have.
since I've lived in Austin, so long time. But in addition to that, we also work together very, very closely. So Rachel is an escrow officer and works with you've got the realtor who helps you buy and sell the home, and then you've got the lender who helps you pay for the home, and then you have the title company who kind of puts all of that together in a very poor way of explaining it. So let me ask you this. So as soon as we sign up a new listing and I call you and I say, hey, Rachel, we've got a new listing. What is the first thing that happens when I give you the address?
So what we do when we get that new property address from you is we go ahead and open an order in our system. And getting a head start on a process like this helps us to identify any liens that might need special attention or encumbrances or any claims on the property that might affect ownership further down the line. And having this head start on a process like that really helps us to have a smoother transaction moving forward.
Right. So I guess for people who maybe don't even know how that whole process works, when you're looking for liens and other things, can you go into a little bit more detail on what encumbrances or issues could come up, prior to opening title?
Absolutely. So, you'll have your typical mortgage liens, which will be voluntary liens. You can have involuntary liens, which can cover, anything from child support liens to tax liens or anything of that nature. There can also be divorces involved, which could affect ownership of the property.
Sure.
And opening title early on will really just help us if we need to get another deed filed before the closing itself.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets all that out of the way so we can just have a smooth
Just make
sailing
sure
process.
that all the I's have been dotted, the T's have been crossed, and that the property is actually viable for sale.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, so now we've got the property the title's free and clear, and it's ready to be purchased by the new buyer. What other things aside from looking into the deeds and liens and anything that might be tied to the property, what are other things that you need from us or from the seller to be able to push this through title?
Ideally, we would get a property survey and a survey affidavit ahead of time so we can go ahead and have those reviewed. Mm-hmm. If there is an existing survey and let's say, for instance, that there have been changes to that property since the survey was completed, we would definitely need to know what those changes are so our examiners can fully review everything as a whole.
Okay, so, so I bought this home and I decided to add a shed in the back, and let's say I decided to put some raised planter beds for privacy. What would I need to add to that survey?
So you would definitely need to note where that shed was added.
Okay.
So our examiners can figure out if it is over a property line or a building line or anything of that nature. So they can just review the property as a whole. As far as landscaping, since that's not technically considered permanent structures, you probably don't need to put those on there, but I think it's a good rule of thumb to put everything that you've changed.
Okay. So one of the things that I love about real estate is that I'm never bored. Things are constantly changing. And as we've seen over the past 18 months, interest rates has been at the forefront of that. So we've seen various types of lending and the way that buyers and sellers are transacting change as a result of these high interest rates. And one of those is seller financing, which has been around for forever, but hasn't actually really been put into play up until recently. This go round. Mm-hmm. Obviously forever ago it was something, but now we're seeing it again. So can you explain to us just kind of high level for buyers out there or sellers that are thinking, look, my rate's 3%, rates are over double that right now. I'm trying to sell my house. There's a lot of competition. Let me separate myself from the rest and offer some seller financing.
Sure. Yeah. So with seller financing, from a title company perspective, we handle it just like any other transaction. Mm-hmm. There will be a few different documents that we'd need with the contract, like the seller financing addendum. That will give us all of the loan terms that the buyer and the seller agree upon. And we'll just take it from there as far as the loan terms, the interest rate, the loan amount, payment plans, things like that.
So the seller and the buyer then basically say, this is what we have put together, and
Right.
then you just take
It's
that
all
course.
negotiated terms, and it's all
Sure.
given to us within the contract at the beginning of the process.
Mhm.
There's not as many documents to sign. We'd get a note and a deed of trust prepared by an attorney for the purchaser to sign.
Okay.
And that's essentially all of the documents besides our typical title company disclosures.
Okay. And so are you seeing a lot of seller
We
financing
are.
deals?
We are right now. With the interest rate so high, it's getting difficult for buyers to get approved for traditional loans. And so the seller financing really brings in a different aspect. And it also brings in a huge buyer pool that maybe a seller wouldn't typically have for their property.
Sure, absolutely. So if I'm a seller and I'm going to offer seller financing, giving this buyer a preferred rate, what kind of down payment are you seeing sellers request for a seller financing deal?
So on the transactions that we're handling that are seller finance deals right now, they are actually only putting down about 10%.
Okay.
Keep in mind that these are vacant lots. So anything like in Austin with a home on it, sellers, I would imagine, would require much more than that.
Significantly more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so 2023, we all know, has been like kind of a crazy year. I think we're all excited to see 2023 kind of come and go and on to 2024. What are some of the biggest changes or takeaways that you've learned from this year, and what do you see coming in 2024?
So I think one of the biggest takeaways that I've taken from this year is that nothing is certain, nothing is constant. That's kind of the joy of being in this industry, which I'm sure you know about.
All
It
too
keeps
well.
you on your toes,
Yeah.
for sure. And although sometimes we go through these downturns in the economy, it will pick up. And so that is definitely what I'm looking forward to next year. Hopefully that'll be in Q1,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Let's hope. We've got some positive data, so let's
Yeah.
hope for sure. Okay, so there are some times when you look at a title commitment, in there, if you read through in some of these older neighborhoods, you will see things that are pretty eye-opening.
Yes.
Would you explain what I'm probably talking
Yes,
about
so
and
you-
how do we circumnavigate that?
For sure. So you are, I'm pretty certain, referring to very, very old deed restrictions from
That's correct.
the 30s and 40s
Correct.
that contain a lot of very outdated points of view.
Yeah. I mean, downright like racism,
Yes.
segregation, and
Absolutely.
they're still in these
They
docs.
are, and that's because they are filed of record. And once they're filed of record, they're there until somebody either releases the property from them, which can take a lot of work, because you have to get documents signed by a lot of the owners in that same subdivision in order to get properties released. The thing with restrictions is that what most people, I think, pay attention to are building lines and property types, things like that. As far as those very, very outdated views that were around
Yeah.
back then,
Yeah.
other owners would have to make complaints regarding those, and I don't think anybody will be doing that going forward.
No. Okay, so another like version of creative financing, which again, I use that with quotes because these programs have been around for a long time, but assumable loans. Now, the reason why I'm coming to you with this, even though it's really a lender question, is because the lenders don't really want to talk about assumable loans because it doesn't benefit them. But are you seeing assumable loans, and can you talk a little bit about what that looks like from your perspective?
Sure. So we are seeing some of assumable loans come in right now. It is a longer process. The purchaser does have to get approved with the lender of the current mortgage that's in place. And I don't think we could stress enough like how much you have to go through that approval process.
Sure.
Some loans are not assumable, and even if they are, you would still have to get approval from that lender to do the process. It involves making sure that you go through all the terms and conditions of the current existing mortgage with a fine-tooth comb. And once all of the paperwork gets to the title company, we handle it just like any other traditional loan. There's still going to be lender instructions, loan packages, things like that.
Right.
I think the big thing is it happens on the back end before it gets to the title company.
Got it. So what kind of time frame are you seeing with
We
the-
have some that have been, it months essentially. Yeah, I mean, expecting a 30 or 45-day close is probably not going to be likely with a process like that.
Okay. So 60, 90, maybe more.
I would, yeah.
More. Okay. Okay. Good to know. I haven't done one yet, but I know that it's been a topic of conversation.
Yeah, there
I'm
is
sure.
just more legwork on that back end before they get to us.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming over and explaining some of these things that we're still like learning, even as a real estate community. Our clients are asking about them, and we're still, again, pivoting, learning more information. And I think that everyone should at least have some additional insight on alternative products outside of, a standard conventional loan.
For sure.
So thanks for sharing some light on that.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. I'll see you later. I'll see you Thursday.
Bye.